very much connected to the book The Woman That Ran with Wolves from Clarissa Pinkola Estés and the mythology of the skeleton woman. If you know the mythology of the skeleton woman already, you will figure out that it's not the same story one-on-one. I adjusted it just a little bit. Well, the mythology of the skeleton woman tells the story of a father that was so enraged with his daughter. He was so angry with her that he was dragging her through the village and he was pulling her forward the cliffs and threw her inside the ocean. And the villagers asked themselves, what did she do? Like, what possibly could she have done to justify his actions? And as she was drowning and becoming one with the whole universe, the fish came and started to eat her skin and her flesh away until nothing was left of her but her bare skeleton at the bottom of the sea. So time has passed, and fishermen said for decades, you shouldn't go to this area because if they caught a part of her skeleton or even only one bone, her spirit would haunt them and their families forever. So after a long time, people stopped talking about her. And the villagers stopped even thinking about her, and she was almost forgotten until one day a young, beautiful fisherman from another area came. He didn't know about this whole story. So he was there with his small fishing boat, and as he was throwing his fishing rod inside the ocean, he was waiting for a big catch. But what he was feeling was something was shaking on his fishing rod. Something was tremendously shaking, and he was like so excited. So he was pulling on his fishing rod, and he was expecting a big fish that could nourish him for a long time. But as he was pulling on his fishing rod, what he saw was her skull and her old greasy hair and her bare bones, and he wanted to get rid of her. Her pain was so much. He wanted to get rid of her because he couldn't handle it. And he tried so much to loosen his fishing rod from her skeleton, but she was so tangled around him that she couldn't let go of him. So in the second emotion, he also felt empathy for her, and he felt called by the project of putting her inside his little boat and take her back home. So in the night, in his little cave, over the beautiful stars, he was putting back all the bone structures in place, the shoulders back in place, and the rib cage back in place, and he was gently putting her hips back in place and her bones of her legs back in place. He was gently removing the old seaweed from her rib cage. He was removing the sand from her old bones. And in this act of giving love and attention to her, she was growing back flesh and blood again. and her skin grew back, and her hair grew back. She was so beautiful as decades ago. And as her eyes grew back and their eyes met, they were falling in love and were happy ever after. So, with the mythology of the skeleton woman, Clarissa Pinkola Estés not only tells us the story of how true love can occur once one is over getting their fears, she's also telling the story of a broken woman getting healed and content by the love of a man. And in my life, that wasn't quite my story. I was a very broken woman before. I carried a lot of trauma in my body, in my pelvic floor muscle, because everything that we are undergoing in our lives leaves an imprint, like a mark, like a stamp in our bodies and in our souls. And by coincidence, I went into belly dance and later also into fusion belly dance. And I figured out that shaking movements such as hip shaking movements and breast shaking movements, like shaking movements in general, that they can release stuck emotions that are deep inside our muscle systems, that are deep inside our fascia. They can release stuck blockages and stuck trauma. And in my case, I figured out that the more I'm shaking my hips, the more these old blockages in my pelvic floor muscles are getting released layer on layer. Well, I wish everyone here and out in the world to find their way of feeling, because there are so many methods of feeling, may it be to speak therapy or to dance or to any other methods. If there's something to be solved, just take care of yourself and go on this path. Oh, I'm so excited today. And about this dynamic and the skeleton woman and my dedication into fusion belly dance, I was writing a small poem that I'm going to share with you. And after, I'm going to show you the performance of the skeleton woman and the performance that I created after, which is called Reborn, because every performance that I'm creating has like a backstory. And the skeleton woman is the performance that I created to share with the world how dance can be such a healing method. And the performance after is talking about how dance was fully reborning me. In a place where stories intertwine, a man finds a figure she was lost in night. It was skeleton woman, she was feared and alone, but to her he felt a pull unknown. With his care and his gentle touch, she changed and became so much. From bones to flesh she rose anew. Love's power, it was strong and true. Belly dance fusion, it's a art that heals. It was filling my void. It mends and it seals. No need to take, I can just dance in light. My spirit shines in rhythmic night. Each beat brings life, my essence glows. In dance my wholeness shows. Strength and beauty and confidence grew with every rhythm a transformation true. thank you very much. And I want to share with you, I also have a little booklet about the skeleton woman. If you're interested, just talk to me. Thank you.